Okay, now there's more water in the bucket because it has dispensed the rinse water. Got about a minute left on the cycle, and the next phase it's going to go into is the 60-minute dry cycle. There we are. I'm not going to let you watch this all the way through because that's a little boring to just watch water collect. Catch you later. Okay, it has switched over to the dry cycle. It's got 60 minutes, and you see that little thing flashing on and off over to the right? That flashes the whole time it's doing the dry cycle. All right, here we are. The dishes are done. Now this looks kind of icky, but it's plastic and it has scratches on it from knives and stuff like that. But it's completely dry. Glassware. If you noticed earlier, there was a ring of milk at the top of this glassware. As you can see, it's nice and clear. And if there's any liquid at all, it's just a drop or two on the top, which I wipe off. Look at that. Okay. Now this coffee mug here is going to have liquid on it because it has a recessed top. So I just kind of lift it and take it and dump it into the bucket down below. And of course, I'm going to wipe off the top. You've got to expect that with your coffee mugs and anything that has a recessed top. When you put it in the dishwasher, it's going to collect water at the top. But let's look. The inside is nice and clean. Here's a hint. Whenever you're doing any kind of cupware, glassware, or whatever, baby bottles, you put it with the open part facing down so the water can go up it and swoosh out. All right, I have some glass bowls right here. I have a metal bowl. This is a plastic bowl. This is Corelware. These are more of my favorite sandwich plastic dishes. As you can see, they're dry. As you can see, they are dry. Okay, let's start out with this Corelware. Clean and dry. Now there's a little moisture on this one here, probably because there's still moisture on the top of this thing. Can you see the moisture beads? They are still there. They do not, the inside of this machine is not totally dry 100% during the drying cycle. That's why I like to grab all of my stuff as soon after the load as I can, because if you leave them sit in there, the moisture beads will drop down on them. And I'm having probably issues with some of the moisture beads today because I'm trying to video this and get everything out one-handed. Here's the metal bowl. Stainless steel bowl. Dry. Here's the plastic bowl. Again, please ignore the scratches on it. That's one of the drawbacks of using plasticware. You can drop it and it won't break, but it gets kind of ucky looking after you use it a while from utensils. Another Corel bowl, nice and dry. And my last plastic plate, nice and dry. Now in this dishwash load, I had the utensils on the top rack. Normally, if there's room on the bottom, I would have used this little basket that comes with it. As you can see, the slots on the top are different sizes to accommodate your flatware, whether it has a wide handle, where are we at? A wide handle like this one, or a narrow handle like this one. As you can see, all these are nice and dry, and they're laying on this rack. This little rack on the top, you can use it for all sorts of things. In some of my pictures, you'll see small little bowls on top. You'll see larger utensils on top. You could use it for everything. If you don't want to use it at all because you've got high things inside the dishwasher, it will fold up to the side and you won't be able to use it. Let me get all these out and I'll show you that. See, it folds up. Okay, the light went off because it was time for the light to go off. It doesn't stay on very long once the load is done. Now, one more thing I want to talk to you about, and I'll do that in a second in another little quick video. Okay, here we are wrapping up this video on the ChuMaster Dishwasher. And I want to bring something to your attention, and that is this. This is the filter inside your dishwasher. I want you to take a look at it. It's very small. These screens right here, where I'm rubbing it, they're only 1.5 inches. There is a little area in the inside that can kind of catch large chunks. And these mesh screens grab some of the gunk that comes off of your plates and keeps it from going down into the drainage unit underneath the dishwasher. Because you really only want dirty water to go down there, but you don't want bits and pieces and stuff like that. It's a good idea when you put your plates in here to kind of scrape, if you've got excessively dirty plates, scrape them into your garbage disposal or some other area. You don't have to wash the dishes completely before you put them in here. But I want you to see this because people don't realize how tiny this is. And then you hear complaints. You got to know what you're dealing with. This filter is smaller than a filter in a normal under-the-counter dishwasher. But it's the heart of your unit in keeping crap out from going into the drainage system. So you want to maintain it. I usually check it, not after every single wash, but maybe every other wash. Don't just ignore it for a month. Please don't do that. Please do not ignore it for a month. So you should be checking it. Another thing I like to do with the dishwasher is I take a cloth, and because I live in the hard water area, I showed you earlier the water beads that were still left. They're mostly on the top, but I take a cloth and I wipe the whole thing inside dry after I do my wash. Because if I let the water dry on there, it's going to leave a little bit of hard water scale behind it. If you don't live in a hard water scale area, then you don't have to worry about that. But I live in a hard water scale area. There are things you can do to try to cut down on the hard water scale inside the dishwasher, in the plumbing area and stuff like that. You can buy a product and you can run it through a cycle in the machine. I would use the fruit wash cycle, and don't put any fruit in the machine, just put the product in the machine and then hit the fruit wash cycle, and that sprays water around in there and carries the product through your machine. The same thing can be done with vinegar. You could add water to your machine that has vinegar added to it, and again run it on the fruit wash cycle, and it's spraying water around in your machine with vinegar in it. Probably a half a cup or so per your pitcher loads of water. You don't have to do a half a cup in each pitcher, but you get the idea. Put a pitcher in there and add a half a cup, and then add the rest of the water and top it off, and just run it fruit wash cycle, and that should help try to keep your hard water buildup from the inside of the machine, and also it goes down and will funnel through the drainage. So that's it for me and the ChuMash. I've been very happy with it. Any developments later on down the line with how it performs, I will be updating my review. But this is my preliminary review for the few months that I have had the dishwasher. Thank you.
This part of my house is a trailer, okay? Like, it's small. So, this thing is amazing. I don't have it hooked up to the sink. I don't have it hooked up to this sink because of this faucet thing. It won't work. So, instead, I use the water filling option. But, it fits perfectly right there. It takes 3 of those for this. This thing fits my huge dishes, which are 11 inches, which is awesome. It could fit about 3 or 4 of them, and then it could fit like 3 soup bowls. It could fit my, like a little soup pot too. It could fit my coffee cups. I don't put my wine glasses in it. And it could take all the silverware. It's awesome. I can sanitize my sponges, like you can probably see right there. This thing has totally blown my mind. It runs for about an hour, but honestly it's probably only about a half hour, and then it dumps the water into the sink like this. And what else? The other half hour is just for the drying, so it does like a hot dry option, but oftentimes I just stop it before then and take out the dishes, and it's fine. It's amazing. I'm so happy with it. I hated doing dishes. I hate doing dishes. And my boyfriend was doing them all the time, so this has like really helped our relationship. It's a little mini therapist. Like, for $250, you should probably get it. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, like, so this part is kind of the only weird funky thing, is that we have to like fill it from back here, but hey, it still works. It works. You should get it. I'm very impressed.
So it's running, so I can't completely show you, but see, this is where you fill up the tank. So this comes off, but you fill it up with a jug. It takes about 3.5 of these jugs. So I have to, when I go to fill it, which I won't move just yet, I have to pull it out and then, you know, twist it so I can access that. That's gonna bug me. Now that's the drain hose. Yeah, but if you connect it directly to the water, which I'm sure is even better, which I can't do because mine doesn't work. It does come obviously with this. See, it's a screw on for the tap, but see my tap, I don't know how to get this off. See, I think they did this on purpose so that I can't screw something onto it. So maybe I'll buy like a rubber flexi hose that I can plop on there and then fill, and then yeah. Anyway, so this is it. It's actually running. It's on the quick mode. 5 minutes left. I don't want, okay, that's unchecked. The light's off, but you get my reflection at the same time. Can't see. Anyway, it's washing stuff. I like it. Goodbye.
Hey, all you people with amazing reviews, tell me what I'm doing wrong, all right? I have all my dishes loaded, okay? Not even overstuffed, all right? Everything closes just fine. I have filled this with at least 4 of these. 4 of these. It says you only need 3. The water's starting to like leak out into my sink, okay? And it still will say, I don't have enough water in there. It's supposed to automatically switch over to the tank when the tank is full.
I'm thinking that my tank sensor is busted. Because this is what happens. Okay, here's how I'm pouring in the water. It's overflowing. Like, okay, and now it's flowing out of here. I've put so much water in this thing, it can't hold any more water. But it still says it doesn't have any water to switch over the tank. So, what am I doing wrong? Somebody help me out here.
Recibimos esto y de aquí esto está mojado. Estamos en una mesa, ¿vale? Por allá está la cocina, pero aquí está la mesa. Primita, baja de ahí. Y trae su plástico. Este de aquí venía así, venía rotito. Ese no lo abrimos, este sí viene sellado. Y este es el que venía del otro lado. Este sí lo quitamos, estaba aquí. Pero se nos hace un poco raro que venga mojada. Mira, aquí se ven las gotas de agua. Aquí hay más. Entonces no sabemos por qué. Y trae sus protecciones y todo, también están mojadas.
I love this product, like how it cleans. And I like the idea of not having to put like a cube or something that may not dissolve. You just take your dishwashing powder. And a lot of people think that you may have to use a cube, but no, you use this powder, this Kroger brand, but it's really good as well. It works fine here. As soon as you close the door, it falls down here and it sprouts up and throws the soap onto the dishes, which I love. This cool blue light and then all the different setting modes up here that I love. Like if you have a heavy load, it tells you the time, the temperature, everything. And it's also eco-friendly. And this is where you fill in the water, which is pretty cool. I love this dishwasher. I have no complaints about it. I can put up to 12 different dishes inside of here and have a effortless cleaning. So, thank you, Amazon.
This is my non-hookup to the sink setup. So if you're like me and don't have space under your counters, then you can do this. Just have a little table stand thing, and I've got a jug down here that holds like 8 liters, so obviously it doesn't fill up all the way. I've got my laundry detergent here and the extra supplies here, and yeah, here we go. I love this little thing.
So here is the final result. I finally got her in her perma-hole. I got her on the perfect height stool. I might need a little one taller, but we'll get there. And we finally got a basin that fits. Thank you, Dollar Tree. Shout out to them. And I got one of these cute little signs on Amazon where you could do dirty, clean, whatever you want it to be, okay? I love this thing. She is definitely doing her thing and making my life easier. 10 out of 10, recommend.
actually on a drying cycle. Didn't know it did that. Perfect for RVs, you guys. This thing is incredible. It's a mini dishwasher, that's all. There's nothing different between it and a dishwasher. This thing's incredible. Super perfect for RVs.
This little miracle machine was a great purchase. I am quite enjoying my purchase.
Really, what's strong?